Okay, you guys go.
Sorry about that, guys. We're running with no audio for a second there. Kenge got 2 quick points, and Lauren Sturgeon took it right back as they were doing the inbound. They intercepted it and managed to get another 2 points. So 4 points already for the Eagles. Will be on our scoreboard here shortly. Kevin Shivers-Roy had to run over and help out Michael Breed. Bit of an issue with audio, but it is resolved now, so thank you to Michael Breed and Kevin Shivers-Roy for getting that all fixed.
Yeah, our team does a great job in terms of working behind the scenes, all that troubleshooting. Big thanks to them. So, as you mentioned at the top, well, there was no audio. This is actually a rematch of last year's Southwest sectional game 1. In that game, FCA stormed out to an early lead off of a 13-point first quarter from number 4, Nalea McAloon. She's got the ball now. And picking up where she left off as she puts up her first 2 points of the first quarter.
And so
FCA ended up winning that game 65-58. We'll see if they can repeat their victory.
And based on the tempo of the game here early on, FCA are definitely the ones who are being stronger. As you said earlier, if you look at the Tigers bench, only 2 people there to replace the starters, so there will probably be some issues if I had to guess. Then again, in these games, they do like to play out their starters as much as they can, but normally they do like to give them rest, and when you only have 2 people to replace, it is not a lot of people. And FCA forcing the shot clock violation. They're just going to throw it last second. Didn't touch the rim, so it is going to go to FCA, stopping play. Now FCA in that earlier game from last year, not a lot of players graduating, so it's almost the same roster here for both sides. It is a very, last game FCA was able to force the shot clock and play strong defense, not allowing any easy shots for the Tigers. And it seems like they're replicating that a bit here today as we are a quarter into the quarter with FCA up by 6 and the Caledonia Tigers yet to have gotten a single point.
Nice steal by number 3, Riley Dobson there. Grade 10 student, but she is returning on this team. As you mentioned, Hunter, it is a fairly young FCA team, was even younger last year. As Haley McDonald secures that rebound for the Tigers.
And so, yeah, as you were talking about earlier, this is an elimination game, first game of sectionals. Winner of this will play the senior girls tomorrow, but we are double hosting, so just after this at 8 o'clock, we're going to see the FCA boys face off against Belle Isle, and the winner of that will play Harvey as Nalea McAloon starts off strong with a 3-pointer. First of the game. She's going to pick it right back up off that steal. Tigers tipping it up, but ultimately they aren't able to take it away. A long pass over to Lauren Sturgeon. Going to drive in the creative pass to Nikki Kenge.
Ooh, good work by Stewart securing that rebound. Lauren Sturgeon was right there, but she got it. An attempt up there by Deanna Campbell, grade 10 student. But she is returning as Coach Kim Giddens and Darren Clark are going to use their first timeout. 9-0 here in the early going for the FCA Eagles. And yeah, as we mentioned last year, so that final score was 65-58. Doesn't tell the whole story though, as we mentioned. FCA coming out to an early lead, and their second quarter was massive. They scored 21 points and allowed only 4, and really didn't look back from there. Caledonia did come back to make things interesting in the fourth quarter, but ultimately fell short. One of the big factors, though, was foul trouble. 2 of their strong starters, Alex Casey and Scotland Stewart, both had 3 fouls early and ended up sitting for significant portions of the game, whereas FCA was able to roll their full-strength squad for pretty much the entirety of the game, and that may have been one of the difference makers. So we'll see how things go here for Caledonia. As you mentioned, Hunter, very short bench for the visiting Tigers. So if any other players do end up in foul trouble, this could be an issue.
Yeah. kind of forgot about that. If there was a lot of foul trouble in the earlier game, so certainly the Tigers do not want foul trouble this game. That would be not good given the fact they only have 2 replacements.
So far, so good, though, as neither team has yet to record a foul 3.5 minutes into the game.
And Tigers are going to go for the three-pointer. Alex Casey going for that one.
Casey's third attempt from beyond the arc. Seems like it might be a big part of the Tigers' offense is getting those long-range attacks from number 14, Alexandra Casey. And there's referee Mackie Ibbett making the call, along with his partner John Vale signaling to the minor officiating booth. Big thanks to those minor officials as well. We've got Ella Durrett on the 24-second shot clock, Emmy McMullen checking all the right boxes on that score sheet, and alumni Delaney McElwain running the in-house scoreboard. Big thanks to all 3 of those girls for chipping in tonight.
And the pass over to number 5. Ooh, just no good there. Scotland Stewart trying to get the first points for the Tigers. Still not a huge lead from FCA, only 9 points ahead.
And we'll get a couple substitutions now as number 6, Abigail McFarlane, and number 10, Aluchi Eziakafor checking into the game for the Eagles. Dobson and Kenye will grab a break.
Yeah, one advantage of having that longer bench is you do not only have potentially good players who can replace the starters, but it gives the starters a break. So it is crucial to make sure you have good bench management, especially in these bigger tournaments. Oh, and there we go, number 5. Or I think
Scotland Stewart. Let's take another look at that on the replays. You see, bounced out to the corner and it goes in. So that's a great way to get the scoring started for the visiting Tigers.
And there we go. We already got a foul here.
It's Lauren Sturgeon going to the line. Last year, she drew 6 fouls against this Tiger team, went 3 for 7 from the line. Fairly strong shooter. We'll see what she can do here.
It is going to be Casey's first as Lauren Sturgeon makes the first, putting FCA into double digits, as Tigers did recently get their first points off of that three-pointer from Scotland Stewart.
Big steal from Sturgeon too, but good recovery by Campbell.
Repeating what happened in that first play earlier when Nikki Kenye got the 2 points. And FCA already playing an aggressive full-court press, trying to get some interceptions and some couple few extra points.
Yeah.
And already the takeaway. So FCA playing very strong defense here early on. The Tigers are clearly struggling as they're going to get it into Aluchi Eziakafor. Out to McAloon. Oh, just no good on that, but they're going to get it back to her. She's going to go for the mid-range this time, and this time it's good. Nalea McAloon already with 7 points.
Just unrelenting defense here as player down. I think that's Casey holding her ankle, and that is bad news for the Tigers, as Coach Darren Clark's going to come out and make sure his player's okay, as this could be a deciding moment in this game. Tigers down already. They will send in number 21, Grace Duplessis, grade 11 student, who will take the court. But this does put Caledonia in a very rough spot.
Yeah, if any one of their players get fouled out, or if there's another injury, that immediately has no players on their bench. Should 2 players foul out, I'm pretty sure they just play with 4 players. I'm not exactly sure how that would work. With this short of a bench, and with their foul trouble last year, if they repeat that same foul trouble, I mean, there's no one who can replace people who are in foul trouble, so it's not like they can save them.
No, we'll see if Alexandra Casey can maybe get this taped up, as you see her reclining on the bench there. Coach Clark having a look at the ankle. As we continue here, Tigers set up in the box, but That pass. And that's something that plagued the Tigers in their game here last year as well. Errant passes. Just a little too much mustard on a lot of those, sending them beyond the reach of their teammates. And FCA really capitalizing right now, creating those turnovers, pouncing on pretty much every errant pass.
Nikki Kenye in the paint. Oh no, unable to get those ones to go. And we are going to have Tigers with the opportunity here. Passing it around. Shot is up off the backboard. They look like they may recover it. Ooh, but it is going to go out of bounds. Ultimately, number 5, Scotland Stewart, chasing that one down.
Yeah. Stewart, the only player to score so far with that single three-point shot from the corner. As Riley Dobson brings the ball up.
Pass back out to Nikki Kenye. Pass into Oluchi as the Okafor pass back to Kenye.
Ooh.
And a great drive by Kenye. Smart play. Passing it into Oluchi as the Okafor, distracting the paint defenders, and then driving in herself, getting the pass back to her. She would have made. I bet she would have made that had she not gotten fouled, but she did get fouled, so she's going to go to the line for 2. And that is the first foul against number 4, Aletta Metzler.
First shot is errant. Second shot coming now is Stewart. And Metzler get ready to box out, but it's not necessary. As yet again, Tigers struggling to get it out of their own end. And this is tough for the team from Hillsborough. Making the long trip. They might just need a bit of time to get their feet under them. But hopefully they get that figured out soon, because this FCA squad is a dangerous team.
Yeah, luckily, not as much foul trouble as there was the other game. Certainly, they would not like any more fouls or injuries this game with that short of a bench.
Oh. Whistle, and not sure exactly what that was. I don't think it was a foul, but referee John Vale catching something. Dobson may have traveled or something, not sure.
And so now the Tigers, 11 points down. Gets in, and there is a foul.
Nice drive there by Deanna Campbell, one of the younger players on this team in grade 10, but exactly the kind of player who's going to need to step up, especially in the absence of reigning all-star Alexandra Casey. We'll see what she can do. That's Kenye's first foul. Campbell had 10 points in the game of sectionals last year, including 2 from the free throw line.
And a long pass and a big interception, though, from number 6, Abigail McFarland.
Yeah, dangerous play, and the Eagles are going to pick those off every chance they get. Nice work there by Haley McDonald getting hands in to disrupt, and now Aletta Metzler streaking up the left flank.
Oluchi as the Okafor is going to send it out of bounds, so now Tigers are going to reset, as we are going to get a few FCA substitutions.
Yep, looks like McAloon and Claire McGuigan are back, as well as number 11 Fiona Essen for her first action of this quarter.
And we're going to have Nikki Kenye grabbing that rebound. Long pass over to Nalea McAloon. Oh, just no good. Tigers going to grab that one all the way to Deanna Campbell. Just against number 5. Oh, she's unable to do it. Claire McGuigan defending that one.
Tough break.
They're going to step out of bounds.
That was a nice windmill move by Campbell, though, to get by the defender. These teams have met once before, but it was early on in the season, a tournament where FCA defeated Caledonia by a score of 71-52. But of course, it's been a lot of seasons since then.
And so, and there we go, another foul. Nikki Kenye is going to go to the line again for another 2, and she did go 1 for 2 last time. We'll see if she can do better this time. We are going to have Scotland Stewart, the guilty person, but it is, at least they're spreading the fouls out. Only one foul out of the 3 they've gotten.
Yeah, in this situation with only 6 available players, you definitely don't want to see anyone with multiple fouls, so something to watch out for. So Kenya goes for a second attempt here. So maintaining that 50% mark from the 3-throw line. Ooh. Oh. And tough break as Grace Duplessis trying to get aggressive and create a steal of her own, but ends up committing the foul rather. And that puts the Tigers at 4 fouls for the quarter. Ooh. I think Scotland Stewart got hands on that. Nice give and go to Metzler.
And there we go. This time off the quick drive. Number 4.
Great move by Aletta Metzler as we see that again coming up. What a move to get by Claire McGuigan. Grade 10 student, but she started last year as a grade 9 rookie. It's exactly what you want to see if you're a fan of the Tigers, to hopefully get them back in this game.
Nikki Kenye recovering that. It looks like there was a bit of a steal-ish from the Tigers, but as it was rolling, Nikki Kenye grabbed that one and managed to get 2 points. So now 17-5, 12-point lead for the Eagles.
McAloon making the call as the Eagles come out of the box. And
a little miscommunication there.
Yeah, yet another errant pass, and it's really dooming the Tigers right now. As with the depleted lineup, some of these girls may be playing in positions they're not used to playing. This particular set of 5 might not have built up the same chemistry as we know FCA's starting 5 have gotten, so discrepancies starting to show.
And so the Tigers going to have a chance to pick up some points here.
Ooh. Whistle coming just in the nick of time if you're a fan of John McAloon's squad. Unfortunately for Kim Giddens' team, it's not quite what they wanted. As Tigers almost had that, just a split second too soon.
And we are going to have some FCA substitutions lining up. Lucia Ziokafor going to come back in. I'm going to guess for Nikki Kenye, but she's been in for other times. And then Lauren Sturgeon coming back on, I'm assuming, once again, for Fiona Essen.
Yeah, and this suffocating Eagles defense forcing yet another turnover as Campbell dribbles that out of bounds. And, yep, it is Kenye grabbing a breather as well as Fiona Essen. Lauren Sturgeon back out there as well. So Coach McAloon really rolling through about 7 or 8 players, making sure everyone's staying fresh. Whereas the Tigers are kind of stuck with the same 5 out there, and I'm sure fatigue is going to start to set in.
Luckily, they'll have about a minute break here.
Yeah, there's an 8-second violation as Eagles defense causing turnovers in tons of ways. Just pressuring and causing mistakes, not allowing the ball over in 8 seconds like that. They've had multiple steals as well, just plucking the ball out of the hands of the Tigers, and that's really been the story of this game so far. It's attempted buzzer beater, just a touch wide there by McAloon, but she'll shake it off. She had 7 points in that first quarter, pacing all scorers, and that's a great start to this game. If you are a fan of the Fredericton Christian Academy Eagles, they lead 19-5 right now. For the Tigers, unfortunately, it's a bit of Murphy's Law out there. Everything that can go wrong is going wrong with their depleted roster and ankle injury to their star, although we do see Coach Darren Clark putting a brace on Alexandra Casey, so we may hopefully be able to see her later on. But either way, hopefully the game can get a little closer for fans of the team from Hillsborough. The Harvey High School Stream Team would like to thank our premium sponsors, Bill Gammon, Black's Grocery and Café, Briggs and Little, David C.A. Williams Renovations, Dr. Dan Fletcher, Excel Manufacturing, Harvey High Helpers, Harvey Insurance, Hundredfold Acres Puppies, the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs, Paul Equipment, your local Devilon and Bobcat Heavy Equipment dealer, RSEI Consultants Ltd, Scott Pierce at Remax East Coast Elite Realty, and the Station House. Our sponsors help us to improve the viewing experience and get more students involved in these streams. We have multiple levels available and accept sponsorships from groups and individuals. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please check the video description for our contact information. And big thanks to all the folks working the stream tonight. We've got Michael Breed sitting at the console position, flipping you through all those different angles. Working some cameras today, we've got Kurt Cometa, Adeline Albert, and Silas Whitehall is also standing by. We're hoping to get our floor level camera activated for the second half. Big thanks to Kevin Sheffers-Roy as well, who is stepping in at scoreboard and doing some troubleshooting, just kind of our jack of all trades up here in the skybox. Big thanks to all those folks helping out.
And we'll get started out second quarter here.
Yeah, looks like it'll be Sturgeon, McAloon, Dobson, Claire McGuigan, and Ezzy Akafor coming out for the Eagles. It is the same five for the Tigers. Scotland Stewart, Haley McDonald, Aletta Metzler, Deanna Campbell, and Grace Duplessis. Referee John Vale whistles the ball in, and here we go. Tigers possession.
And the long pass into the corner. They're going to go for the drive, though. Getting around some of the FCA players, and there we go. Deanna Campbell picking up her first basket of the game.
Great start here for the Tigers. We'll see if they can build on it, but that's what they needed, a clean offensive possession. They didn't have too many of those in the first quarter, but we'll see what adjustments they were able to make on their breakouts. That's where FCA has really been doing a lot of their damage.
And great rebound by Lucchese Okafor, and drawing the foul. She's going to go to the line for her first trip, potentially getting her first points of the game. It is the first against number 24, Deanna Campbell.
Oh, no, I think that was up from earlier. It's actually, looks like it's going against Scotland Stewart as Alexandra Casey has checked back into the game. She's got a brace on that right ankle, but good to see her out there.
So back to a 7 personnel bench for the Tigers, luckily.
Yeah, and Casey, the lone grade 12 student on this roster. I'm sure she's motivated to put in a good showing here. It's a long trip from Hillsborough, so I'm sure none of these girls want to go home early, and especially not Casey in grade 12, but she's moving well out there. Good defense here against Ozzy Akafor. And yeah, still standing her ground, so nice to see Alexandra Casey still competing out there.
She's going to get the ball, and long pass over to number 4, Alexandra Metzler.
Ooh, and Metzler tripped up there, so I believe that's the first against Nalea McAloon. No FCA player with more than one foul.
$14 seconds to get a shot off. Oh, but before that can happen, Riley Dobson with a big interception. Pass over to Lauren Sturgeon, unfortunately unable to make that one. And Tigers with possession back pretty quickly. Pass over to number 14, Alexandra Casey. Pass back to Deanna Campbell. And a 3-point from Casey, no good.
Yeah, we saw her take a few of those attempts from beyond the arc in the first quarter before going down with injury. So if we can get both her and Scotland Stewart going for the Tigers, they may have the diversification in their attack that they need. There's 2 more from Campbell. And now it's the Tigers with a bit of wind in their sails as they're up 9-19. Or sorry, they've trailed 9-19.
And there we go. Lucchese Okafor getting her first points of the game.
Yeah, she's the 5th Eagle player to score.
Typically the one replacing Nikki Kenya, who's grabbing a breather right now. Returning starter from last year. She was their main post player in that game against the Tigers from last year. And a lot of new players, Lucia Okafor being one of them. And she gets her second basket. Reese McAloon, another one of those new players. Fiona Essen, another one of those new players who has also seen some playing time this game. So, not a lot of new players, but there are a few on this Eagles squad. Riley Dobson passed back over to Clara McGuigan. Pass in, and Lucia Okafor is going to grab another basket. So in the last 3 plays, she's 3 for 3.
And that ball comes to Emmy McMullen over at the scorer's table, but timeout has been called by Coach McAloon of the Eagles. He and Brandon Igram will go over some pointers, and I'm sure the girls from Caledonia are happy for the breather as well. So we take a look from that floor level camera. Big thanks to Kevin Sheffers-Roy and Silas Whitehall and Michael Breed for getting that going and activating it as well. And we'll shout out our minor officials once more as well. Big thanks to Delaney McElwain on the in-house scoreboard, Ella Durrett on the 24-second shot clock, and Emmy McMullen working that score sheet, checking all the right boxes. Big thanks to all 3 of those girls as we see them down there at the Don Fletcher minor officiating booth. So we see Coach McAloon going over a few details with his girls. This is an FCA squad that fell to Harvey last year in Sectionals Game 2. Looking to at least advance there and hopefully go further again. Strong FCA squad, as we mentioned. They finished 6-2 in the regular season. Their only 2 losses coming against Southern Victoria. Southern Victoria tonight is facing off in the other sectional semifinal game. They have traveled to Petitcodiac to face off against the Moncton Christian Academy.
Yeah, we could see an exact repeat of last year on the sectionals. I mean, if FCA keep up what they've been doing this game, then we could see it being the exact same, unless FCA win in the finals, of course, and Lauren Sturgis is going to grab 2 points.
Yep, Casey looking for help, but FCA continuing their press.
We could see an FCA versus Harvey and an FCA versus Harvey finals tomorrow if both FCA teams win their games here today. The boys FCA team are going to be playing against Belle Isle. Kind of an underdog story here. They beat, I can't remember who did they beat they weren't expecting to beat. I think it was Dalhousie.
Dalhousie did still I think they are playing in the 3 versus 2 sectionals. But yeah, depending on how you look at the bracket, it's kind of hard to tell with teams that don't play each other in the regular season. But still some time here, and this Tiger squad not going down without a fight. As Scotland Stewart's going to check back in for Casey, and I expect with her ankle we may see her sitting a bit more than she usually would, as Eagles have opened up a 20-point lead. Tigers had cut it to 10, but they're really coming on as Abigail McFarland providing some secondary scoring. She's the 6th Eagle player to score.
And Nikki Kenge is going to take it away. Passed out to Abigail McFarland. Over to McAloon. In the corner, going to drive in. Long pass over to Nikki Kenge. Passed around. And the shot is up. A little short there off the attempt from number 6, Abigail McFarland. It is going to go out of bounds, and Tigers are going to get it started off with about half the second quarter remaining.
Tigers have figured out that you can't let Nalea McAloon open around the circle. Is yet another turnover. And Tigers breaking out less than 50% of the time here. They're spending way too much time in their own end.
fighting off the FCA Eagles and also just struggling to get an offensive chance. But when you get those quick breaks, those are the best chances to score, and Deanna Campbell going to get her 6 points of the game.
Really nice work as we see that again from Campbell making the move. Sturgeon staying with her all the way, but Campbell powering the ball over the taller Sturgeon. And yeah, I think you're right, Hunter. If the Tigers want to come back in this, they want to break this Eagles defense, they're going to have to create a lot of those fast breaks themselves. As with the Eagles defense pinching up so much, it does leave some space open for those fast breaks. Couple substitutions here as Dobson McGuigan, but we'll grab a breather as Coach Kim Giddens calling a timeout for her girls.
As a 31 to 11 point lead, 20 points down. It definitely has been a rough game for the Tigers. I think part of that is because of their shorter bench, especially given Casey's injury. She does seem to be playing, but I don't think she'll play as much as she normally does. She probably needs frequent breaks.
Yeah, this may not be Alexandra Casey's favorite gym, because last season as well, when she was here, she did get some fouls early, ended up sitting quite as much. She did end up sitting more than she probably would have liked to, so just not great vibes here in the David McMullen Gymnasium for some of these Caledonia players, unfortunately. Still, though, putting up a good fight, and Deanna Campbell providing some great offense off the rush. Aletta Metzler with a couple points as well. Scotland Stewart with that 3. That's another way that Caledonia may be able to come back in this. They've taken a fair amount of 3-point shots. Only one gone in so far. But if they can get their 3-point shooting going, a 20-point gap can evaporate pretty quickly. And it's the same 5: Stewart, McDonald, Campbell, Metzler, and Duplessis for Caledonia. They will face off against Sturgeon, Dobson, Claire McGuigan, Nikki Kenye, and newcomer out there, Rebecca McNaughton in grade 10.
And so here we go, long pass over. Passing it around here. Tigers trying to set up a solid play here. Gonna drive in but lose it, but it is a foul though, so.
Oh. Lucky break, and I think 12 blue was the call. That's the first against Rebecca McNaughton. Team's third though, and still plenty of time left to play in the quarter, so if the Tigers can earn themselves a few trips to the foul line, that might help swing things.
And so, nice pass over to number 4, Aletta Metzler. Metzler with the long range 2 off the backboard, recovered, but with only 3 seconds left. You got to imagine that they shoot quick, but great defense there from Nikki Kenye, not allowing any easy shots from number 24, Deanna Campbell.
Got a full hand on that with the block, did Kenye, from right under the net. So some great defensive post play from number 15 in the blue jersey. Eagles just keep finding new ways to create these turnovers.
Nikki Kenye, the pass into number... Oh, but it's passed back to her, and they run the same play as they did before. Last time it was Aluchi Eziokafor who they passed to in the paint. This time it was Claire McGuigan.
Yeah. Great work by McGuigan there. She barely had hands on that. Scotland Stewart in a much stronger position, almost to wrench that away, but McGuigan hung on, looked like by the tips of her fingers, but managed to create that jump ball, and Eagles maintain possession here in the offensive zone. Ooh. Scotland Stewart not getting her arms up quick enough. That's going to be
a third.
Ooh, that's bad news for the Tigers. We don't see... And oh no, indeed, Alexandra Casey comes into the scorer's table. I believe she will be subbing in at the next opportunity. Referee Mackie Ibbett giving the ball into Kenye.
She missed the first. Let's see if he can maintain that 50%. No.
Oh.
And it is going to be sent out of bounds, and I believe it's going to go to the Tigers. No? Looks like maybe
it's Eagles. Eagles ball as Casey does swap in for Stewart here. Eagles set up in the box. 14 seconds on the shot clock. Ooh. Kenye almost unopposed coming in there.
And there we go. Lauren Sturgeon picking up 3 points for the Eagles. So with that 34-11, it is definitely it's been the Eagles' half. Let's see if Tigers can have a strong comeback. And
foul here.
I think it is against FCA.
Believe that's going against Lauren Sturgeon. It is indeed her first, team's fourth of the quarter. And Sturgeon, grade 12 player, one of the only grade 12 players on this FCA roster. And she has scored a lot of threes in this gym over her career.
Oh, and that pass a little too far to the left. It is going to be sent out of bounds. And so FCA going to have it. Driving and pass out.
Oh, nice work by Campbell. I don't know if she actually did get hands in there or just enough to distract, but either way, it does make the pass a little harder to corral.
Driving in. Oh, and there is going to be a block there from Aluchi Okafor. Or it might have been a block. Didn't really see who it was because there was 3 FCA players on that. Long pass into Aluchi Okafor, catching the defense off guard. That's going to be an easy 2 points. So now Aluchi Okafor, despite not being a starter, 10 points. She has played very good in this game.
And McGuigan called on the charge there. Oh, no. No, check that. It's Lauren Sturgeon. Away from the play. I have no idea what that call was, but that is the 5th foul against FCA. So this should be going into bonus.
Oh.
They're not calling it, though.
All right, that's
interesting. Yeah. I guess the next infraction will result in bonus.
That was weird.
Yeah. Yeah, interesting. Oh.
And McAloon taking that one away.
Yeah.
Another 2 points.
McAloon, not the biggest player on the court, but she can make herself big on defense there, as you saw her take the ball away. That was a masterful play by reigning NBIAA Southwestern All-Star number 4, Nalea McAloon. Grade 11 student. She was actually injured last week for the regional tournament. FCA sure are glad to have her back here. She's a force to be reckoned with. As we have another substitution, and it looks like number 7, Reese McAloon, has checked into the game. Got to imagine a younger sister, as she was not on the team last year. Good fight there by McGuigan. Second and third attempt, eventually drawing the foul. And that is the second against Deanna Campbell.
Yeah, already starting to pick up some fouls. 1 player on 3. Scotland Stewart and Deanna Campbell with 2. It's not ideal. I mean, there's no one you can really replace them with, so obviously there's going to be some foul trouble. It's basically impossible for them not to get into foul trouble. I wouldn't be surprised if at least 1 Tigers player fouled out of this game, unless they're able to play their bench really, really smart.
And Claire McGuigan, now the 7th Eagle to score.
And so driving in, there is going to be a foul though, and quickly, right after the Eagles trip to the line, it is going to be number 24. Deanna Campbell going to the line, her 2nd trip. Last time she was unable to make either, but this time we'll see if they can make that any different.
First foul against Claire McGuigan, but Campbell, by far the leading scorer for the Tigers, and she adds another one. She's been dangerous on the rush, but showing here pretty accurate shooter from the free throw line as well, as those both go in very clean.
And here we go, pass into Aluchi Okafor, pass out to Nalea McAloon, passing it around the arc. Gonna drive in, slow it down. Back in. Great passing by FCA, trying to find that open shot or drive. Oh, that pass a little too high, and it is going to end up in the hands of the Tigers. And there we go. Ooh, Casey nearly making that one. They are going to get it back to her, though. Pass out.
Ooh, nice C into Metzler. Just can't finish. A good reach back by Ezzy Akafor to block that. And I think this is going against Alexandra Casey. Her second. Team's fourth. So we could get both teams going into bonus here, as Tigers already in bonus.
And great job there by Sarah McGuigan. Spinning around and getting that one to go. It's from just outside the paint. And 55 seconds remaining. We don't have a ton of time left. Taken away by number 4, Nalea McAloon, and with no one there to stop her. Oh, unable to get that one, but Alucia Okafor going for the pullback, and neither attempt is all right. And they still grab it back.
I think this is where you're starting to see the effects of that injury, is Casey was there in position to be the mark to run back with McAloon, but instead kind of set and tried to reach out to stop it, but ultimately knew that she wasn't going to be able to keep up with McAloon and had to let her go by. And that's a tough break.
And there we go. Get in there. Number 21, Grace Duplessis.
Yep. Deanna Campbell now in double digits, as is Aluchi Eziakafor for the opponents.
And that's it for the first half. Eagles lead 43-15.
Yeah, that's a big hill for the Tigers to climb. Not impossible, though, as we'll go to halftime now. We'll be back in about 8 minutes.
Harvey takes the lead with 9 seconds left. This game isn't over just yet. Luke with the rebound. 6 seconds left. Now 5, 4, 3. He goes in. Ryan down. Shot up.
Dad, I think it's time I get my own house.
All right, the Harvey High School stream team would like to thank our premium sponsors: Bill Gammon, Black's Grocery and Café, Briggs and Little, David C.A. Williams Renovations, Dr. Dan Fletcher, Excel Manufacturing, Harvey Eye Helpers, Harvey Insurance, Hundredfold Acres Puppies, the Little Village Vacation Store for Dogs, Paul Equipment, your local Devil One Bobcat Heavy Equipment Dealer, RSEI Consultants Ltd, Scott Pierce for Remax, East Coast Elite Realty, and the Station House.
And we got that bracket up to remind you what the southwestern side of sectionals looks like for this weekend. The winner of this game, as has been mentioned, will go on to play the Lakers tomorrow, that game at 12 p.m. On the other side of the province, it is a double sectional as well in Petitcodiac, as both their senior girls and senior boys have placed first in the Northeast. Right now, the Southern Victoria High School Vikings have made the trip from Perth Andover to play against the Moncton Christian Academy team. And we're not sure how that game's going. We probably won't get an updated score until much later tonight. However, because of the weather, the planned game for the boys has been pushed till tomorrow. So their schedule looks a little different from ours. The Dalhousie Regional High School Condors have to travel from the north, and conditions are not great today. So they are actually going to travel down tomorrow and play John Caldwell at 11. The winner of that game will play the boys of Petitcodiac at 5 p.m. So give some time for that team to recover a little bit. In the interim, Petitcodiac girls will host the winner of Southern Victoria and Moncton Christian Academy, but not till 1. So their side of the bracket looks a little different from ours. And as you mentioned, Hunter, make sure you stay tuned, especially fans of the Eagles. You're going to want to catch the senior boys sectional game where the Belle Isle Regional High School Bears are taking on the FCA Eagles for the chance to play the Lakers tomorrow. We do have the buzzer sounded, and here come the girls from Hillsborough out of the changing room. The Eagles already out here, as assistant coach Brandon Ingram going over a few things with the starters. Looks to be the same starting 5 out there for the Eagles. Claire McGuigan, Lauren Sturgeon, Nalea McAloon, Riley Dobson, and Nikki Kenye. Out there for the Tigers, Scotland Stewart will put the ball in to Haley McDonald, Aletta Metzler, Alex Casey, and number 24, their leading scorer right now, grade 10 student Deanna Campbell.
And passing over, driving in, shot inside the paint, no good, but the recovery from number 5, Scotland Stewart, going to pick up 2 points.
Great board from Stewart, and that's exactly what the Tigers need. They did kind of start the second quarter in a similar way with some points early, but unfortunately the Eagles were able to get it away from them. We'll see if the Tigers can build on the momentum this time, if they're able to make any adjustments to get past this stifling Eagles defense.
Passing around. Trying to set up a play here, as they've been trying for the last few offensive chances. Tigers, when they do get past the halfway line, because of FCA's full court press, they've struggled with that in the last half. They are managing to set up some okay plays. They okay.
They've had some decent looks from beyond the arc. They just haven't fallen in as consistently as I'm sure the Tigers want them. That's one of the main shooters there, Alexandra Casey. Now, if you're just tuning in, Casey did go down in the first quarter with an ankle injury. She is back and wearing a brace on one of those ankles, and hopefully will be able to finish the game here. But you can tell not quite at 100% on that right ankle. She is a grade 12 student, though, and this being a playoff game, she's going to gut it out. As again, Scotland Stewart getting the second attempt there, but this time can't put it away.
And so over to Lauren Sturgeon. Going to shoot for 3, and she's good for 3. Second three-pointer for her of the game. We're going to see a replay on that. Great shot by her.
Yeah, and Eagles still keeping up the press, but they will. The Tigers will manage to push through it this time.
And with only 9 seconds left, they got to shoot it. No good, but she does recover the rebound. Great job there from Casey.
Oh.
It again. Oh, once again, unable to get that three-pointer to go.
Yeah,
they're good at getting them open, but
that was tough because Scotland Stewart was all alone under the net. If the rebound had come to her, she might have been able to do something with it, but unfortunately for the Tigers, just nothing going as Cagney's shot rolls around but ultimately falls out. And that ball just out of reach for Haley McDonald. And the Eagles will put it back in.
Riley Dobson, long pass over to Malaya McAloon. Pass back to Dobson. Unable to get that one. We're going to have driving in. Oh, there is going to be a foul, though. She is going to go to the line for two. And Deanna Campbell, her third trip, 2 for 4.
Yeah, she's drawn a few fouls, not all of them shooting, but has definitely been the most dangerous player for this Tigers offense. As that goes in pretty clean.
Nikki Kenyer's third, so it's starting to be a bit of a concern.
Yeah, no players lined up to sub in, though, so I think coaches are going to roll with it for now. On the contrary to the short bench from Hillsborough, FCA with 8 available players dressed and ready to sub in. Normally the most you see is 12. They really have a long bench today.
It's passing around. McAloon's going to shoot for 3. Unable to get that one, and we are going to see the Tigers getting the recovery. Pass over. Pass back to Casey. Long pass over to Scotland. Stewart. Nalea McAloon driving down. Long pass over to number 5. Wide open under the net. Claire McGuigan's going to pick up that easy basket. 5 points.
See that again, including the pass in there from McAloon. Just a bullet of a pass and a great C. And now it's the Eagles again. Oh.
And Nikki Kenye is going to take her 4th trip to the line. 2 for 6 she is. And it is going to be
I believe that's the foul on Alexander Casey, her 3rd. So a couple of key players for the Tigers with 3 fouls now. I think we may continue to see them out there until they get 4, though. It's such a short bench for Coach Kim Gidden and Darren Clark's squad. They really don't have many options.
As it's swatted over, number 4, Aletta Metzler. Driving in, she's going to take the shot just within the paint. Oh, unfortunately a little miscommunication there. No problem with it, though. Malaya McAloon pass in. Spin move, and they're going to get the shot off. And number 5, Claire McGuigan, getting that shot within the paint. 7 points now for her. And it is taken away, though, by number 24, Deanna Campbell. Passing over. Over to Casey driving in.
Oh. Casey still looking for her first points of the game. And tried to drive in there. She's taken a lot of long-range shots, but still just can't seal the deal. As McAloon gets one, we'll see that again on the replay. Driving through a couple of players. And Eagles still with possession. Now the Tigers get it out only to send it into the hands of Kenya, and back to the Eagles.
And so driving in, pass out. Shots up. Oh, just bounces out from Lauren Sturgeon. Already, I believe she's gotten 2 3-pointers this game.
Yeah, that's what I have. And she is a very strong 3-point shooter, as Scotland Stewart 1 step too many. And finally, we will see a sub as Grace Duplessis jumps on the court. Aletta Metzler, I think her first foul, and we will see the first action from Carolina Trujillo, as Deanna Campbell also getting a well-deserved breather.
We're going to have number 6, Abigail McFarland, bringing it down for the Eagles. Pass over to Lauren Sturgeon. Oh,
rare misplay from Sturgeon. As we mentioned, one of the only grade 12 players on FCA's roster, and the only grade 12 starter. As you know, she doesn't want this to be her last game, and right now she's doing a decent amount to make sure that it's not. On the other side, the only senior, Alexandra Casey, really gutting it out there despite her injury, but unfortunately the ball just hasn't bounced her way yet.
Back to her. Pass into the corner. 4 seconds, 3 seconds. Gonna get the shot off, doesn't touch the rim. Shot clock, or I think it went out before the shot clock went off, but
yeah. Tigers having a rough go of it in the offensive zone and a little reliant on a few designated shooters, but it does make for a tough time. I think FCA's kind of keyed in on the players they really need to defend vigorously and the players they can give a little space. And that means that the Tigers shooters have very little space to work with. We'll see what they can do to adapt, try to break through.
Passing it around. Oh, almost too high there, but they are going to jump up and get it. Carolina Trujillo passing it around. Still trying to find that three-point shot. It is going to go to number 14, Casey, but it is no good. Into Oluchi as the Okafor for 2.
As the Okafor with 12 points now. She is tied for the scoring lead with Lauren Sturgeon. Sturgeon, though, with a couple of three-pointers. As the Okafor, all 12 from right under the net. Oh. Foul called as Lee McGuigan poked that away a little too aggressively. Should be her second, team second, as our minor official Delaney McElwain puts that up on the scoreboard, and Emmy McMullen checks it off on the score sheet. Big thanks to both of them, as well as Ella Durrett down there at the Don Fletcher minor officiating booth. The games do not happen without the minor officials, so we thank all three of those girls for giving their time, as well as the folks up here in the skybox making the stream happen. It's a big job here with 3 camera angles. We've got Kurt Cometa, Adeline Albert, and Silas Whitehall focusing you in the right direction. Michael Breed sitting at the commander's chair, kind of putting all those different views through the screen. Kevin Sheffers-Roy has been doing a lot of troubleshooting in the background, making sure things run smoothly, as well as keeping our on-screen scoreboard up to date. And big thanks to you as well, Hunter, for hopping on the microphone with some commentary. And we'll see the teams come back now as it's like Eagles, who have been rolling a fair amount of players. I think we've seen 10 of their 13 dressed players hit the court tonight. And here's another one as number 13, Jana McGuigan, is going to get her first action. Out there with Fiona Essen, Abigail McFarlane, Oluche Isiakafor, and veteran Lauren Sturgeon.
And so driving in, off the backboard, nice job from Deanna Campbell, still your leading scorer for the Tigers. She has 11 points. So.
Oh, nice, and a big block here too is chance for a fast break.
And it's the Tigers still trying to set up a play here.
Ooh, looking for the give and go, but just a little pass coming in a little hot for Aletta Metzler. And that's turned over to the Eagles. As the Okafor on her own rebound, she's going to draw the foul.
And it is going to be
And this could be dangerous. That
fourth
is
against Scotland Stewart.
Yeah, that is bad news for the Tigers with 2:16 left to play in the third. If she does go out, that puts a lot of pressure on an already short bench for the team from Hillsborough.
Yeah, that would mean they'd only have one replacement.
Yeah.
Okafor is going to go 2 for 2 there.
Ooh. Bit of space up the middle there for Casey. Gets it back out to Metzler for 2, and Metzler scored 15 points on her last trip here to Harvey, including a 3-pointer and 4 drawn fouls. Just hasn't been able to get the same danger going. Metzler was really dangerous on the rush last year, but Tigers just having a lot more trouble going. It's good to see to Scotland Stewart, but took just a moment too long. Yeah, inadvertent foul there, but McFarland tripping up her opponent as Nalea McAloon and Rebecca McNaughton will hop on to the court. Yeah, decent number of fouls overall for FCA as a team, but only Kenye with 3 and a few other players with 2. Because they've been able to roll so many players, they're spreading them out pretty well.
Oh, and it is going to be passed against Deanna Campbell, so FCA are going to reset here.
Yeah. I think Eziak 4 was looking for Jana McGuigan on the other side of the defender, but just couldn't reach her as FCA setting up in the box.
And the foul there. It is gonna. I think it's gonna go up against.
It's bad news because Casey and Stewart were the 2 players in vicinity.
Oh my goodness.
Neither one of them a player you want a foul, and
that's it. I think.
Indeed, that is the 5th against Scotland Stewart. So her night is over with 5 points, 3 from beyond the arc, and Grace Duplessis will jump on the court.
Fiona Essen looking for her first points of the night. Misses the first, but we'll see about the second.
Yeah, McDonald and Metzler in there to contest the rebound for the Tigers if necessary.
And here we go. Pass over to Aletta Metzler. Passing around the arc. Driving in, pass out. Unable to hit the rim there. And Lucia Okafor, just managing to barely keep the play alive.
Yeah, the FCA crowd loves that, as FCA fans always travel well here to the David McMullen Gymnasium.
Uncalled on the travel.
Rare turnover caused by the Tigers here, and this allows them a free entry. They don't have to deal with that FCA press
that they have struggled against.
And FCA really collapsing well under the net, allowing nothing in close.
And Lucia Okafor pass over to Nalea McAloon. That's an easy 2 points.
Yeah, there's a good play. We'll see that again. The pass up to McAloon, and the lone defender back, Alexandra Casey, playing on a weak ankle, just not able to move to defend that the way she would want to. And lack of depth here from the Tigers is really starting to take its toll.
And so we are going to have Nalea McAloon. They're going to get it back to Nalea McAloon with only a mere 1 second remaining on the shot clock.
Oh, no, I think it must have touched the backboard above the rim, but not the rim itself. Oh, no, guess we're ending the quarter there.
What? All right.
Yeah.
There's like a...
Referees, Mackie Ibbett and John Vale consulting each other here. I think, I'm not sure if That was what they were going for, but we'll take advantage of this short break to thank our premium sponsors: Bill Gammon, Black's Grocery and Café, Briggs and Little, David C.A. Williams Renovations, Dr. Dan Fletcher, Excel Manufacturing, Harvey I Helpers, Harvey Insurance, Hundredfold Acre Puppies, the Little Village Vacation Resort for Dogs, Paul Equipment, your local Devlon and Bobcat Heavy Equipment dealer, RSEI Consultants Ltd, Scott Pierce at Remax East Coast Elite Realty, and the Station House. Our sponsors help us to improve the viewing experience and get more students involved in these streams. We have multiple levels available and accept sponsorships from groups and individuals. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, please check the video description for our contact information. Pretty big hill to climb here for the team from Hillsborough. So they only scored 7 points in that quarter. 22-58. And it looks like still 10 minutes left to play. Anything can happen, but FCA certainly in the driver's seat to move on and face the Lakers tomorrow at 12 p.m. for the right to go to Harbour Station. As we mentioned, this is a rematch from last year's SouthWest sectional semifinal, as that game was a little closer. FCA did storm out to a big lead in that one as well. However, Hillsborough was able to keep it closer and ultimately only fell by 7 points. 65-58 was the final score last year. Looking like it might not be quite so close this time around, as it is McNaughton, Nalea McAloon, Essen, Jamie McGuigan, and Ezzy Akafor out there for the Eagles.
And so passing around, Alexandra Casey, pass in. Nearly intercepted by the FCA Eagles, but ultimately it is going to end up in their hands. And we are going to see them on the court. Stop and shoot, and it's good from Riley Dobson. Or check that.
Yeah, I can't let McAloon do that. Let's see that once more. Is low, straight in. There's a great three-point shot from McAloon, just pulling up. And a lot of the senior girls in attendance tonight for the Lakers. A couple of them getting great seats at the scorer's table. They, of course, know this FCA Eagles team very well, as they play often, but still can always learn some new things about the opponents. As that's the first foul against Alucci Eziakafor. Metzler's first attempts from the line this game.
She's going to get the
first shot is good, and some support from the Hillsborough side of the stands. It's a long drive from Hillsborough, so understandable that there's not quite as many as could make the trip from Fredericton. Nice work by Casey on the rebound, just narrowly avoids the steal by the back-checking McAloon. Oh.
And taken away here. Tigers driving down with speed. Oh, a little short from Alexandra Casey. And
steal here by Metzler, and we need to see a bit more of this. Just a little too much mustard on that. Bit of a track meet now.
And struggling for it. It is going to ultimately end up back in the hands of the Tigers. Shots up. No good there. And we're going to see a full roster change for FCA.
Oh, nice little windmill move there by Campbell. Got a decent look, but just no finish.
And there we go.
So another three from McAloon. Let's take a look at that again and again from almost the same spot at almost the same angle. A well-practiced shot. That is her third successful three-point shot this game. We know McAloon's dangerous on the rush, but really showing why she was an NBIA All-Star last year and is a fair bet to be named an All-Star again this year.
And so, pass in to Lucia Ziokafor. Pass back out to McAloon. She's going to shoot again. A little to the left this time, but they are going to recover it. Going to get it back to her. This time she's going to pass it over to number 13, Shayna McGuigan. Oh, they're going to lose it, though, ultimately, and the Tigers are going to end up with possession.
Yeah, good work by Grace Duplessis getting in the lane there to create the turnover, but nothing going for the Tigers there. And finally, we have the substitution, as we'll have Reese McAloon, Claire McGuigan, number 22, Haley Hansen in grade 12 checking on, as well as the other grade 12 student, Lauren Sturgeon, and finally, Abigail McFarlane are the players out there for the Eagles. And in terms of substitutions, the Tigers do not have that luxury. Only one available player on their benches. Scotland Stewart fouled out in the third quarter.
Pass back out to Lauren Sturgeon, going to shoot for three. Oh, this time no good. Fighting for the rebound. We are going to see Alexandra Casey go down. She seems all right.
Yeah, gets up under her own power, which of course you'll want to see. As FCA setting up in the box. Ten seconds on the shot clock here.
And they're going to go in. Oh, but the second chance no good.
Some nice moves by Sturgeon there to try to get herself a good shot. Now it's Duplessis coming up the left flank.
And so the shot's up long range two. Just no good, and we're going to have reset. 3 seconds left. They got to get a shot up quick, and they do. Number 24, Deanna Campbell.
We've seen her use that windmill move to get by the defenders a few times this game. Just unfortunately hasn't had enough opportunities if you're a fan of the black and gold. Oh, ripped away by Grace Duplessis, but a bit of an error there with a double dribble as we see Carolina Trujillo getting ready to sub in. And there we go. Referee Mackie Ibbett calling her in. Grace Duplessis will grab a breather.
And here they go, number 6. Abigail McFarlane pass over. Pass back to number 5, Claire McGuigan. 5 seconds left. She's going to shoot for 3 off the backboard. It's a shot clock reset. Oh, it is Tigers with possession, though. They're going to have Carolina Trujillo. Pass over to number 4, Letta Metzler. Metzler's going to fire 3. No good, and it is going to go out of bounds off the Eagles.
Alexandra Casey's going to put the ball in as she calls the play, and girls get set up in the box.
And so pass over, shots up.
Oh. It was a nice little play to get Casey open for a 3. Just unfortunately didn't fall the Tigers' way.
And so there we go, number 4.
2 more, yeah, for Aletta Metzler.
Haley Hansen pass over to number 2, Lauren Sturgeon. Pass in to number 5, Claire McGuigan, who's going to draw the foul.
Yeah, I think that's Alexandra Casey's 4th, team's 1st. But that would be very bad news if she were to go out, and that would leave the Tigers with no subs.
Although with 4 minutes remaining, it is looking relatively, even if she did foul out, it wouldn't be that detrimental.
You'd be able to finish the game, I think. It would just not be an overly fun experience.
No.
Metzler and McDonald getting ready to contest this rebound. McGuigan now 1 for 4 from the line. Ooh, nice give and go to Metzler. And Trujillo getting that rebound.
Passing around the arc.
Ooh.
Tipped up, but it is going to go out of bounds off number 5, Claire McGuigan.
Yeah, really good read by number 5, McGuigan. Grade 10 starter. Started last year, too, as a grade 9, as we mentioned. The Eagles team fairly young, as McGuigan and Kenye both started as rookies last year.
Driving into speed, shots up, and it's good from number 6, Abigail McFarland. And 4 minutes remaining. We're going to have another full roster, or full lineup change for FCA. Passing around. Driving in, getting around the FCA players, number 24, Deanna Campbell. Now with 15 points, so she is by far the leading scorer for the Tigers. She's had a great game here today.
Yeah, last year only 10 points, so improving on her last trip from Harvey, but unfortunately her team struggling to join her in that. But as a grade 10 player, you do like to see it. She didn't start last year, but has clearly taken some strong strides in her development and has a couple of good years of high school ball ahead of her. As out there for the Eagles, it will be number 14, Alyssa Hansen, number 11, Fiona Essen, number 12, Rebecca McNaughton, number 3, Riley Dobson, and number 15, Nikki Kenye.
And the pass over to number 11, Fiona Essen. Going to pass back out to number 12, Rebecca McNaughton. Taken away, though, by Carolina Trujillo. And driving in, the shot is up, no good from number 6, Haley McDonald.
Good attempt there, though, by McDonald, and nice to see some attempts there as Riley Dobson puts it up. We'll see that again on the fast break there. Got underneath a couple of defenders. Really nice work by yet another grade 10 student on this FCA squad. A lot of sophomores for John McAloon's team.
And here we go, Riley Dobson. 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth. Pass out to Nikki Kenye. Over to number 11, Fiona Essen. Back over to number 14, Alyssa Hansen.
Oh, good work by Casey disrupting that, as it's still Eagles' possession, but only 4 seconds on the shot clock. Haley Hansen and Jana McGuigan are going to check in now. Set up in the box, and Fiona Essen gets ready to put this in. Coach John McAloon doing a great job rolling through his roster. It can be hard with so many players to get everyone the right number of minutes, but I think he's found a good balance here in a game where his team is solidly ahead.
So Carolina Trujillo is going to pass it out to number 24, Deanna Campbell.
Yeah, good rebound by Trujillo. She's gotten a few of those from off the benches. She keeps the possession alive and allows her teammate Metzler to put a couple more on the board. Minute and a half left to go now.
And they're going to pass it over to number 12, Rebecca McNaughton. Over to Riley Dobson, driving in. And going to pick up 2, Riley Dobson.
Nice move by Dobson. As you kind of see it there at the edge of her screen. Just gets a step on Aletta Metzler and goes right in for the kill.
And number 24, Deanna Campbell, going to pick up another basket as this game, 55 seconds left, 70-31. It has been the Eagles' game for sure. It's been a rough game for the Tigers, having that shorter bench, earlier injury problems with Alexandra Casey. Overall, just been not the Tigers' game.
Good hustle back there by Trujillo to try to block that attempt. And yeah, Tigers just victims of a short bench and some bad injury luck, all compounding, and just having a rough go of it here in the David McMullen Gymnasium. But The girls who are available here have played their hearts out and should hold their heads up high. Most of them will be back for next season. Unfortunately, Alexandra Casey is graduating, but as an all-star last year, she may be able to continue her basketball career somewhere. It's Campbell 1 for 2 on that trip to the line. Not quite enough time to dribble it out here, as I think Hanson came in a little too aggressively on that pick, and indeed that is going against number 22, her first, team's first. And 21 seconds left in the quarter here.
They're going to try to set up a play here, though. Going to go for the shot, and it's good. Deanna Campbell finishing off the game strong with that one. 13 seconds left. You'd have to imagine that they're just going to dribble this one out.
Yeah.
No,
Oh,
looks like
we're
they might
defending
go
here, yeah. I think we'll get some attempts. As from the bench, they're trying to tell the girls to hold it, but that will do it. Whistle blows. So at the end of 4 quarters, FCA 70, Caledonia 36. It will be the Eagles moving on to face Harvey tomorrow.
Oh, and here we go. I'm going to have good game for FCA, 70-36. Tigers just having a shorter bench, having some tough luck, unable to get those 3-pointers going. FCA just ultimately played the better game, and we will see them tomorrow, as you see on the bracket here, facing off against the Lakers. And join us at 8 o'clock. We will have the Belle Isle Regional High School Bears facing off against also the FCA squad. So we could see both FCA teams playing against both Lakers teams. That would be interesting.
It would be interesting. Either way should be a good matchup. Belle Isle came here 2 years ago and kind of upset the Samuel de Champlain Jaguars to take on the Lakers on their quest to Harvey Station. Lakers ultimately winning that one 2 years ago, but we'll have to see how this one plays out. But thank you so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. Big thanks once again to Delaney McElwain, Ella Durrett, and Amy McMullen, your minor officials, as well as the folks up here in the skybox making the game possible. Big thanks to our camera operators, Kurt Cometa, Adeline Albert, and Silas Whitehall, as well as Kevin Sheffers-Roy on the scoreboard and Michael Breed at the console position. Thanks so much for tuning in, and we'll catch you at 8 p.m. for the boys FCA versus Belle Isle.